Pulled this couch in from the alleyway,
nice.
like literally a week ago, and it matches. It was crazy. I feel like God gave me a gift.
I was like, these look like a pair, but
It's
now that you say that,
ridiculous.
I see the arms are different. Yeah,
Dude, they look like a pair, and they're almost exactly the same size and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I just said to my mom on the phone, I was like, hey, there's a couch in the alleyway. Let me send you a picture. And she said, oh my God, it looks just like yours.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice. I was like, oh my God, you're right. So I had to do it. She gave me a tip. She said, pull the cushions off immediately so no one else takes it. Like, you're a genius, Mom. But I also, I was worried, somebody was moving and I was going to steal their shit. You got to be careful.
Right.
So I think I waited 30 minutes, took the cushions off, and I did it myself, folks. All right, I moved this whole thing myself. It was not easy.
That's impressive. That's like a good one, and probably a solid 100 pounds.
What made it a bitch is getting it through the doorways. Because I moved that one too, but that one doesn't have legs. This one's got legs. So you have to turn it on its corner and then lift it just right and then pull back and just hope that you do it right.
Yeah.
Because if you angle it wrong and you turn, you just fucking hit something and
You're just stuck.
And you can't see the whole time because you're doing this. So you have to prepare the path before you go.
Yeah.
My mom also gave me another great tip. You put moving blankets on a stairs or whatever. That was what saved me. Because carrying it up those stairs would have been the worst part. Yeah, but I knew I could do it because I've moved. I just don't like. I think I just don't like asking people for help. I think this is a me problem.
I've moved by myself before. That's valid.
It feels good. It feels good to put everything in its place without anybody helping you. I like that.
I get frustrated sometimes. They put some shit in the wrong place.
Exactly. I don't want. I'm like, why are you? No. Let me do it.
Yeah. And you try to explain it, and for some reason your words don't work no more. You be like, can you put it on the? And you trying to point to the window and shit. Put it on the thing that you see through.
Yeah.
She's just like,
yeah.
What the fuck is you talking about?
No, the problem is, I'm a visionary. I'm just too much of a visionary. It's funny. I remember when I moved in here, because before this, I had so much more living space. And I remember my mom, I think it's just because my mom's never lived in a city and all this. So she was thinking, how are you going to be able to make that work? How are you going to have enough room? And I remember, when I had everything set up, she came in here and she looked around and she went, oh my God, it looks normal. It looks clean. Because, I feel like in my brain, I think I just have taken the tip from these, shows I've seen throughout the years, or little videos I've seen on YouTube, cleaning hacks or shit like that. So you wanna push everything to the wall. That's what I think it is. You got to have everything against the wall, and then because you want open space. It's like in the movie Step Brothers when they stack up the beds and they're like, "There's so much room for activities."
Oh yeah, classic.
That's what you need. You need room for activities, and also if you can, I'm bad at this one. You keep the countertops clean. You keep all the shit off the countertops, so that way there's room for activities.
Yeah.
Even if there's not activities going on.
Yeah.
See, my problem is I fill up every countertop with things.
No, I feel you.
Everything is somewhere. Yeah. It was one comedian who pointed this out when he came in here, and I'll never forget it. He said, oh my God, everywhere you look, there's something there. And I thought, that is my mind. He's describing my mind.
It's the air sign dilemma, man.
Yeah. I don't know. What does your living space look like? Do you have it? Do you think it represents you?
I think so, because I'm so meticulous. I'm the same way. There's space for everything. I could find a place for some shit. You know what I'm saying? But when I walk in my house, my apartment, whatever, I want to... Feng Shui is super huge for me. So I like for there to be open space. I like to, You ever play video games and, you walk into a mission or something and there's, this blur of wind that tells you what direction to go in and it follows corners and shit. I damn
so
near
you're
see
trying
that.
to subconsciously guide people through.
Exactly. You clearly not supposed to walk this path. Here's the furniture is set up in a way if you want to get to the kitchen, nothing is in your way. It's a clear path. You can also reach the bathroom on that same path. It's forking paths with nothing in the way of it.
I just think that's such a funny way to describe it, because it's when you turn the HUD off in a video game, and the video game is supposed to guide you. That's how your room should be.
That's how, man.
It should be guiding you which way to go.
I hate walking through my own space and tripping over some shit, or if I want to access something, I gotta move something else. It's just irritating for
See, that's like my
living space.
life. That's my problem is I've just learned to normalize that. It drives me insane. Like literally last night I turned the light off and I walk and I just fucking slam my leg or something. And I was like, oh.
No, my legs are all bruised up because I don't know. I'll be walking 5 feet away from something and somehow my toe stubs the corner. Or like my shin hits
I put my weights on like right around the corner of my bed because it's where it's so that way if I put them there, then the shoe thing doesn't get all fucked up. So the weights are kind of counterbalancing it. But because of that, I'll be walking by and I swear to God, my pinky must have been hardened by now. Like it must have gained muscle because I've stubbed it so many times.
Yeah.
And I just fucking, at this point, it doesn't even faze me. I'd have to stub my toe bad for it to really upset me because I've stubbed my toes so many times and I feel like I just don't even, because of what I'm talking about. And it's a weight.
Used to it. You're used to it.
Have you ever kicked a weight before?
Yes. Yes. I think I've dropped a weight in the gym like on my foot before.
Oh, hell no.
That shit was
that sounds like it would break your toe.
brutal. Like it just missed it. It was like,
dude, that's too much.
Right on the edge.
How heavy?
It couldn't have been more than like 30 pounds, maybe anywhere from like 15 to 30.
That could fucking break your entire foot.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
if it fell right on your foot.
Yeah.
The other day I fell and I was like, this is because I ride an electric skateboard. I've ridden it going like 20, 25, 30 miles an hour. Okay. Not wearing a helmet. I'm not saying don't do this. I'm not saying don't wear a helmet. Okay. You should wear a helmet. But I'm just saying I've done this a million times and I've never like fallen and gotten really messed up. Like I've gotten bruises, but I was like, okay, within like 2 days. The other day, I'm walking with my dog. Like I'm running with my dog. And I don't know if I just had like a funny run that day. I don't know what happened. Because I remember before it, I was thinking, like the way my feet are hitting the ground is a little odd.
Put on the wrong Fortnite skin today.
I really did have that thought. And I just fucking fell, dude. And I fell like, because I fell while I was running, I didn't properly process what was happening. Because normally I think this is why I don't get hurt that bad, is I know how to fall. Like normally I fall good enough to where I kind of take it. And I'm at the age where I can do that. And like with the skateboard even, it sucks because I'll be wearing my backpack. You can't really roll with the fall. Like if you just fall but you roll, you're mostly fine. But if you eat it on your side, that's where it hurts.
Yeah.
And dude, I fucking ate it like in 5 spots. So it was like my shoulder up because it was my right foot and my right foot must have hit the ground wrong and then I'm just tumbling. And so it was my right shoulder, my knee got the most of it because I'm wearing jeans with a rip right there so it just right on the pavement. And then my hip and then my thumb. My thumb is still kind of fucked up. Yeah. So my leg is mostly fine now. I mean like my leg's really good, but my thumb, it's like still if I bend it like this. And I think it's because I wasn't prepared to fall. So I stuck my hand out like this and I probably landed right on my thumb. And it just makes me think like, okay, well, at least I didn't break my fucking thumb. Because it is that easy to break your, appendages? Is that the word? Like to break any of these, not appendages.
Phalanges? I don't fucking
Phalanges,
know.
Yeah.
That's
These little curly things.
Coming back.
There's a word for it. But the things that are sticking out of your nubs, these big nubs we got out of our shoulders. So these things here, and it'd be so easy to break them. I mean, I remember reading once you could bite a finger off if you just bit as hard as a carrot. Like it would be like biting into a carrot, but it's just your brain tells you no. I think that's probably true. Because think, I'm not biting hard. Like I wouldn't bite as hard as I would bite into a carrot. Kind of makes me uncomfortable to even think about that because it probably is true. And the reason I know that is because there's an episode of The Walking Dead where somebody bit off somebody's finger, and then like people were saying,
like, "Act like you're eating a carrot."
Yeah. Well, I think what it was like people, that's unrealistic, and then the comments were like, "No, that's not unrealistic. You could bite somebody's finger off." It's like,
I believe it. If I got in a fight and it resorted to biting,
if somebody had to be trying to kill, like you have no weapon, they got a knife or something, they're trying to kill you, just bite their fingers off. Just go for the fingers.
Yeah.
I mean. Oh, dude, I can't imagine biting somebody's finger off. It would feel that would feel more savage than so many other things. I would rather shoot somebody than bite their finger off. Totally. You know what I mean?
Totally. You got a distance.
So different.
You got a distance.
I'd rather
from
stab
it,
them
you know
though.
what I'm
Like
saying?
even stabbing somebody, it's like
Stabbing.
there's a
I'm too squeamish
knife
to stab somebody. Like I'd be scared. My girlfriend asked me last night. She was like, "If I started taking steroids, would you would you shoot me in the ass?" Basically, is what she said. And I was like, to be honest, I feel like I'm too squeamish for that shit. Like,
yeah.
just the idea of, and I have a bunch of tattoos, so you would think what I'm about to say is crazy, but like the idea of a needle, me putting a needle into somebody's skin just feels, it just makes me shudder a little bit. You know?
I don't even like having a needle in my skin. A needle is different than a knife. So I could stab somebody. I couldn't put a syringe in them because I feel like I'd fuck it up. Like I have
so
good
precise.
veins.
Yeah.
So I have good. Actually, right now it's not even fully showing. But like, if I just ran, you'd probably be able to see it better.
Yeah, pre-heroin veins.
Yeah, like I got good veins, and my sister and my mom are nurses, so it's funny.
Yeah.
Like they'll see my arm and they'll be like, "Wow, that's
great veins."
yes," because to them that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like most people, who gives a fuck? But I mean, and some people you'll see like their veins are just popping out their arms, and I mean, still it makes me uncomfortable just to think about it. Like sticking a syringe. Like if I was at the hospital, because I see this in TV shows where it's like, oh, fuck the hospital, I'm leaving. Rip the shit out their arm. They go. I'm thinking, like it's a syringe in your arm.
Don't hurt. You didn't just
can't rip that out.
Or like ruined your vein.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like, oh, there was an episode of Breaking Bad where I remember Walt leaves the hospital. He comes back. He sticks it back in his arm. And I remember thinking, okay, I could take it out, but I can't go back to the hospital and then put it back in.
Yeah, Walt was crazy.
Well, yeah, Walt was crazy.
That was a great series. But
that's
Walt was crazy.
Probably my favorite show of all time, and I feel bad that I saw it before most other shows because it just kind of ruined most other shows for me.
Damn.
Because it's just so what I like. You know, that show's not perfect, but what makes it so good is that it's so well written and it's so like well rounded out. And everything exists for a purpose and things don't happen for no reason. Like there's really nothing in that show that you can point to and go, well, what about this? Like what was the grand purpose of this? There's always an answer. It always goes somewhere. Even if, and what's crazy about it is it kind of proves to me like the principle of like you just have to follow your intuition and the characters and the story and like follow this idea, this thread, this creative thread, and then go somewhere with that and hope and you know, hopefully there's some big grand idea to start with. Like with that, it was we're taking this character, Mr. Chips, and turning him into Scarface. That was like the whole pitch from the beginning. But how do you get there? That was what they had no clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
And so it's just so interesting to see that show and how it developed. Because if you watch it in retrospect, it's like, oh, they must have had this planned out all along. But then you watch the things where they're talking about writing it, and they had no fucking idea what they were doing. Like every time they would do flash forwards, it was like, oh, I wonder what that's gonna mean. And then they would have to make up a reason for what like at the end of at the beginning of season 5, you see like a machine gun, and you're like, what's this machine gun for? And when they wrote that, they didn't know what the machine gun was for.
Yeah.
And to me, that's crazy. It just because there's all these other things where the writing is bad. And why is the writing bad? Because they're trying to create moments. They're trying to create like shocking moments. And they're not trying to follow the story or the characters and do something true to the idea of the show or whatever it is. They're trying to create moments. Yeah. And that's not something people believe in or buy into. And I think that's what made that show so great. And I mean, there's other great shows, but I mean, it just feels like everything always somehow goes somewhere or has a purpose. And hopefully if you're making art, you try to do that. Everything feels purposeful and means something. Otherwise, like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense from how the show was received. You know? It's like the audience is figuring it out at the same time. Sounds like the writers were too. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, dude. I mean, when the show wasn't even received that well for the first 3 seasons, right?
It was like 3 times to fucking watch it. Like, I watched the first season like 3 times before I was like, oh, this
a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people I've talked to, they still don't like it. And I can't make them.
First season is slow, I think. And then, but once you start to appreciate the first season and you get into the second season and then like you finally make it to the third, you're like, oh.
You know what's interesting about the first season too? It was, so they had most of it like written already and all done. There's more swearing in the first season. There's more like adult shit. And it's because it was supposed to be for like maybe HBO or something like that.
Oh,
like you can actually tell like they were maybe going to go a little bit more adult based on the content of the first season, and then it's not like that because then it was AMC. After that, it was always AMC.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another thing about shows that Breaking Bad taught me is that shows really don't even become the show until about like the fourth season, like the fifth season. Like it's kind of like a principle of TV shows. Like a show is good a show can be great in like the first season, the first, second season, the third, but it takes shape as it goes on. And so many shows fail that test. Like it's so hard to pass that test and be a great TV show.
I wish the OA got to 4 seasons.
Yeah. That one, I haven't seen that one, but I've heard so many good things. Isn't that What You Say? Is that What You Say? Or is that a different show?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, it was some show from way back then, and that was like they parodied it in I think SNL, and it was Justin Timberlake, and somebody gets shot, and then the song plays. What you say?
I know what you're talking. Nah, I don't think that's it.
Only meant well.
I know what you're talking about now, though.
It's great, dude. It's very funny.
But
but that's like my
something
childhood. Like
different,
that's long time ago.
Okay.
At least 15 years ago.
I don't remember what movie that was that they were parodying.
It had to be a show. I thought it was OA, but I don't think it is. It was a show around that time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was OA though? What was that?
The OA is like interdimensional travel.
Was it like the X-Files kind of?
Nah, it's about this woman. The show starts this woman apparently jumping off a bridge. Turns out she had been missing for like, I'm talking about like 7+ years. Okay. And the show continues and kind of like catches you up on what it's like bringing her back home. And so she doesn't talk to anyone about what happened to her in the time that she's gone, except for this group of like 5 kids, like 5 teenagers, 5 high school kids. And she's got to be like in her 30s, 40s maybe. Yeah. And without giving too much of the story away, she just kind of like creates this following and almost like this ethereal spiritual presence of how she was able to escape the things that she learned. And the premise of her being taken away, she was blind when she was kidnapped, by the way. She comes home and she's not blind. And so it just takes you through the story of how all of that progressed. And she was basically studied for near-death experiences. Yeah. And just everything that implies in the first season, second season, and I think it got to season 3. Season 3 was crazy. It was like dying to jump timelines is kind of. And then there was never a season 4. Was it leading to a season 4 and then it didn't happen? Or did it have an ending? No, it didn't have an ending. I think it was one of those things where Netflix was like, we're cutting the programming on this. Like, we're not going to fund this anymore, which was heartbreaking because that show is so good. Yeah. It's so fucking good. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of fantastical shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's. There was a show I watched once called The Event, and I remember that show was on some streaming service, and it was so like bad but good at the same time. And I always wonder if anybody even knows about that show, because I remember I would watched it and it was like weirdly entertaining. Like every episode would end with some crazy twist, and I think the show ended, I don't think this is that big of a spoiler, but it was like it was leading to a second season, and it was a crazy ending where like another planet enters the universe. So there's like the alien planet that all these other aliens that have been on the Earth the whole show, like now there's this alien planet that's in front of the sun and it's here too, and da-da-da-da-da. And the second season was going to be like those two things merging, and the president was involved, and there was all this stuff. Like the first episode was like some alien on an airplane like trying to hijack the plane, and the whole show was always trying to intrigue you and make you think, oh, what's going on? But like I feel like it's hard to do shows like that because unless you have a big fan base and like a big budget and all this, like you have to keep topping yourself, you have to keep coming up with big things, you know. It's like I don't know how far this show went, but it sounds like it got big at the end. They started to go big. It felt like Zendaya was in the 3rd season. Oh, so it's really? Like Yeah, they had something going on.
Yeah.
But it
and I love a good show. It's always hard for me to watch a show because the closure thing like that.
Yeah.
I need closure. I need and I know so many shows are good and then they're bad, and I need closure. And if I don't get that, I feel like I'm hurting myself.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones. Did you ever watch that? Did you do all that?
I got to like season 2 before I started falling asleep every episode.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and again, not for everybody.
Yeah.
Season 4, it's like season 1 through 4 is really where it's good. Season 4, I think, like probably some of the best. And it's just like, well, was it season 2? Did you see all the Red Wedding or no? Did you see that part?
I'm not even sure.
Oh, so you probably just didn't like the show.
I was probably so high watching that. Like, I'm just like, this is when I was back smoking a lot. So I was probably just rolling up, turning it on, and being like, fuck.
Who's that again?
Yeah. Googling episodes like, oh, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
How did we get here? How did Daenerys start turning into a fucking dragon? What did I miss?
And that's the thing. That's why I think people don't realize that these things get bad over time, like at least with that show. Because there's a lot of people, at least when it was coming out, who were like, now the internet comes together, says that was a bad ending. But when that show was coming out, the end was happening, there were people who were fans of the show. It's just like Star Wars, where people are like, no, it's fine. But like the general consensus over time is, no, that wasn't great. But at the time, there's so many people who are ride or dies for this thing just because it's their thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I lose my track of thought. Oh, yeah. Not Star Wars, but lose my track of thought. The other one. Star Wars, but...
Star Trek?
No, what we were just talking about.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Game of Thrones. So it's like, I feel like people are watching it over time, and they watch it for so long, and then it's like, okay, I've waited years for this next season, I waited years for this next season, I waited years for this next season, and by the time it's terrible, they just don't even know who these characters are. They forgot everything by now. Like, they don't remember what the show was like when it started. They don't know. Yeah, it's like you when you were smoking weed 24/7 watching the show. Like, they have no consciousness of any of this anymore. Yeah. And it's like, I think my problem is I'll watch these things all at once. So I'll watch Game of Thrones like all at once, and I'll be like, huh? And the same thing with Star Wars. I went through Star Wars all at once. So it was like, okay, I watched the first 3 movies, and then I watched the prequels. And I was like, okay, not bad. I could see why people were thrown off by the prequels. That makes sense, but they weren't bad. Like, I get it. And then I watched the new ones, the Disney ones, and it's like whiplash. You get whiplash. But if you had waited 15, 20 years and you had already seen the prequels, then it probably would feel a lot different. Maybe then emotions are running high and, oh my God, it's freaking Han Solo. I can understand that. But so much, like, I feel like the one I watched recently that I feel like is mostly people are right about is like, I feel like the Scream series mostly holds up. Holds up. But it's so hard for these movie series. Is there one good franchise? I don't know if anything exists.
The Wire's undefeated in my eyes.
Well, TV shows, yeah. If you're talking TV shows, The Sopranos, The Wire, the movies, it's hard. But TV, because movies, they always...
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse so far is undefeated to me.
We're waiting for the third one now, yeah. And the second one, I still haven't watched it because I know it's good, and I know once I see it, I'll have seen it. Yeah. But I know it's that good, right? It's that good. And actually, I've seen parts of it because at my work, it's on TV now. So I'll look over and I think I've seen parts of the end, and I at least know there's like 100 different Spider-Men in a chase sequence. I know that much. Yeah. So that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
The first one was awesome. I really liked the first one.
Animation style crazy. So.
Well, I remember it was a big deal that they did different frame rates for different characters because that's something you never see in animation ever.
Yeah.
Because that was what they wanted one to be 60 frames per second and one to be 16 frames per second because that's Spider Noir and he moves slower or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that's such a nice touch.
Yeah.
And it's like that makes it so much harder. Because if you're rendering things ever, you always render in the frame rate. You have to render it in the frame rate that it's in. So I think they would have had to render each character separately and then superimpose them. That's the only way.
Which is crazy.
And if they did that with the 100 in the new one, oh, dude. I don't even know how they're going to top it again. Because I remember with the first one, I was thinking, how are they going to top that?
I think that's why it took so long to come out was just for the animation alone.
And when they're setting the bar, because I think you need animation movies to do that. Like, why do we not have... Like, I mean, even if Disney went back to their old school animation style,
I love it.
People would love that.
90s animation style?
Yes.
Like, come on, give me Atlantis
Hand-drawn.
animation style again.
Go back to full hand-drawn everything.
Yeah.
Like, why not? People would love that.
Yeah.
But I think that there's just this idea that you just need to stick to the script. It's like, I just don't think that it looks generic. It all ends up looking generic. Whereas I feel like back then it had a character. Like, it had a certain, I don't even know. Like, I think
it had emotion to it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
like a
could
human
tell.
quality.
Yeah.
I think it's from being, I don't know. I feel like once you add all these extra elements, it's just fucking all about, oh my God, look, you can see every strand of hair in this 3D model.
Yeah.
It's like you're losing the point of the artistry in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, a painting isn't about every single strand of hair and the details and the frame rates and all this.
Yeah.
It's about I think it all becomes technical in the end. And I think, like, the old school animation, I mean, oh my gosh, especially the stuff in like the 80s. Like, if you go back to when it was first starting and like right before it really got commercial, there was people doing all kinds of crazy stuff with animation. I mean, I didn't even realize that until recently.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like psychedelic animation, but it was just because people were trying all sorts of things to try to be creative. And then animation really took shape when, like, you know, all these Disney movies and all that take over. But it's crazy, dude, because it's a whole different side of entertainment, I suppose. And, like, I feel like now, I don't even think kids' movies are the same. Like, I don't get hyped like I used to. I like kids' movies. Like, I watched Moana, the first one.
Banger.
I love that shit.
Hated they did
Coco,
a real action.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
You said, hey, what'd you say?
I hate that they did a live action Moana. Fuck.
Well, you saw The Rock, right? You saw what he looks like?
No, I mean,
gotta
as soon
show
as they
you.
showed me they was doing live action, I had just seen the animated version. I was like, I'm not finna watch that shit.
Everybody was making fun of it because they were saying he looks like a lesbian like woman. It's crazy, dude. You gotta see, because they put The Rock in a muscle suit and he really looks funny. This is it right here. Here you go. That's right there.
He do look like an NBA player. I'm WNBA player.
That bottom one really shows you.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just the trailer, but it really is like, it's crazy. Like, I think people were saying, like, 40-year-old lesbian gym teacher. I want to say that's what people were saying. And it's just funny because you didn't have to do this. Moana's good.
It's amazing as an
Leave
animated
it alone.
film. It's like,
why?
cook.
And they haven't done well. That's what's crazy. They've been doing it for so long, and none of them did good. Oh, here's what that thing does.
good.
Oh,
Does it lock?
It's not drooping on you?
No, it is a little bit.
Yeah,
So
if
I'm
it
just,
does that, you just bring it down, and then up, and now you're good.
all right.
Oh, but yeah, it's like none of them do good. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't know what type of. It doesn't make sense because what you're selling, it's like, okay, we're doing a new version of the old thing, so we want the fans of the old thing, but that's actually not what they want. They want to just go over the old thing and have that be what people remember. Like, I was at my work and I look over because I'm a server, so there's movies on the TV all the time and stuff. So I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. I think it was Aladdin was on. I'm thinking, oh sweet, Aladdin's on. Nope, it's new Aladdin. And I'm like, I just feel bad if it was a kid and they're watching this thinking, oh cool, Aladdin. It's like, no, you don't even know. You literally wouldn't even know. And that's kind of how it's gonna go. You know, new Lion King, they're gonna remember new Lion King. It's like OG Lion King is, and now as a parent, it's your responsibility to show them OG Lion King just for them to understand. Because the new one, I don't even know who they're, like, it doesn't make sense. Who are you making this for? Because it's not even trying to be the original. That's what's so weird about all these movies. They try to kind of like change things about the original, and they're trying to prove a point by changing. It's like, nobody asked for you to change anything. And I'm not talking about like Black Little Mermaid. I'm talking about like they'll change the whole plot of a movie. Like it was, which one was it? Because everybody got mad about it. It was, I want to say Sleeping Beauty, because they changed the kiss thing where she gets kissed and she wakes up. And then the actress came out and she was like, Sleeping Beauty don't need a man. And that was the whole angle. And it's like, you guys can't do that because now everybody's going to get mad. And I feel like they're doing it just to get people mad and just to generate buzz because they think it's like, no, just stop. Make a new movie.
Yeah.
Just make a new movie. Nobody needs all this.
Let it cook.
It's just pointless drama, and it just keeps us all talking in circles. And it's like, just make new. And you know, really it all boils down to funding and what studios are willing to fund and how this industry works. That's really what it is. It's just people who don't want to take chances because you have to take a chance on a new IP and a new this, a new that. That's why it's so kind of surprising when you see a great big budget original IP movie. Like, did you see Sinners last year?
I saw that shit like 5 times.
Yeah, it's so good.
Before it went to streaming.
And what blew my mind about it is it felt like a low budget movie that was just given a shit ton of money. Like, that's what it felt. It felt like a movie you wouldn't see get that much money, and they just gave it. I was thinking it was like a $10 million movie. That was a $100 million movie.
Yeah,
That's
he shot that shit in 3 different aspect ratios. He went crazy.
I mean, because I when I watched it, I was like, this looks good, but I didn't even consider.
Did you see it in IMAX?
No, I saw it afterwards just on streaming. I feel like IMAX would have been the way to do it.
That fucking dance scene in IMAX when the screen expands, that shit changed my life. I cried.
Really?
Yeah, I cry every time I see that scene.
Well, that's the most artistic part of the movie, I would say. Like, that's where the movie takes its biggest creative leap. Because I mean, other than that, the movie's not really doing anything like because it's speaking artistically there, like visually. Like the whole sequence is kind of, it doesn't say anything. It's all just happening. And then even the end of it, right, where it's like they're all there, but the bar's not, or would you say bar? What would you say?
Juke joint.
The juke joint, yeah. The juke joint's not even there anymore, and they're all just outside. And like the imagery of that and what that imagery means. Because I don't think there's any other sequence like that in the whole movie where it's just pure imagery and or pure.
I mean, that scene in the when fucking Remick was also dancing. That was like their parallels.
You're right.
Parallel moments.
Those two.
Yeah.
You're right, and they are parallels.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two moments. Yep.
It's like this authenticity of the first scene inside the juke joint where you got all these people there, and what that was like a representation of calling your ancestors to be present. So like for Sammy to be the one playing, you know, they drop little hints throughout the movie just about like what he represents and how culturally his character just kind of represents how arts connect to the spirit. Right. And so that moment is like, we're calling in the spirits are always present. They go into the future about what an artist like Sammy represented, to how that connected to how we experience music and art today. And then they go back in the past to, you see the shamans dancing,
and even musically,
garbs,
just
like
doing that musically is impressive.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Because and I think they performed that at the Grammys.
They did.
Yeah.
Which I cried again. I cried again, man. So
it's just so cool because to me that's what filmmaking is all about, is speaking like it's what's the word, visual storytelling, but not even just visual, but like what you can do with film is you can take all these elements and then do something with them, whereas you can't really do that with anything else. Like I can't. That sequence is using music, so obviously there's the musical aspect where you have all these genres blending, and what does that mean? But then just the technical aspect of it, where it's all basically one shot for the most part, and these people weren't here before, so even if you're just thinking how did they set up that shot, you have all that going on. And then you have the fact that it's breaking the rules of the movie in a sense, because you're seeing time travel essentially, and it wasn't like it's kind of a non-literal sequence like I'm saying. So all these things where it just kind of hits you like that, and I think it forces you as the viewer to be interpretive and to understand it as you understand it. And that's my favorite thing ever. I think that's like what film can do. It can just pass you the ball in a way that most things don't do. Yeah. I mean, David Lynch, he's always been one of my favorite directors. And I remember him saying, like, the reason he became a filmmaker is because he looked at a painting and he thought he had seen it move or something like that. And he thought, like a moving painting. And I think that's what film is at its core, if you do it right, is a moving painting.
Yeah.
Because it's saying all these things, but it didn't say any of that. It didn't actually say any of that at all.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out, you know? And that movie is phenomenal. Just all of that. I mean, just there's so much underneath the actual plot, you know?
Yeah. There's so much implied.
Even just where they put the setting, the way that they chose, the fact that, you know, you do the South and you have it be like a blacks and whites and all this, like it, because really it's basically From Dusk Till Dawn, but in the South. That's kind of what they did. They just took that film and then repurposed a lot of that into this, which is what most things are. It's just taking ideas and blending them. But it's like interesting what that does to that story, because it just, you know, and then the vampires are I actually don't think that guy was racist, by the way. The lead vampire.
No, he wasn't.
He was actually very respectful.
He was just a colonist.
Yeah, that's all. Exactly.
That's all.
I think that's something people get wrong about the movie. They think like he's like racist and it's all because they're black. Like,
he said, oh, no, sir, we're not racist in any way.
That's like one of the funniest parts.
We just want you to join our side.
No,
Connect
sir.
me back to my ancestors.
He says, like, I can't remember what he asked. No, sir.
His response was he was offended that they thought that he was a Klan or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, and the movie makes you kind of think it when you first see him, right? Because isn't it like he shows up to the Klans people's house or something like this? And yeah, I mean, damn, dude, there's so much about that movie that's great. Because I mean, I think really also incorporating music in such a way. I mean, it's hard for a movie to do that, where the music is like it's such a core element of the movie. I mean, even the ending where, you know, you have it being him playing years later and it's a whole different actor that everybody, you know, oh my God, it's him. Yeah. And then these characters come back and da-da-da-da, but the music is the core thing holding that together. And it's really the core of his character. Yeah. And it's the whole thing. Do you know what that movie that guy's making next? I forget his name. Ryan Coogler? Yeah.
Legend.
Is he making something now?
I think he's still working on Black Panther 3.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't even know he was doing that. Wakanda forever and ever.
Type shit. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever and always.
You know?
Like, what do you do after forever?
I'm
Wakanda
sure
Infinity.
They're probably gonna come back in what is it?
Avengers.
In the Avengers for sure.
Wakanda will return in Avengers Doomsday. Well, they keep doing these trailers. So and so will return in Avengers Doomsday.
I know.
Did you see how people were making fun of the Michael Jackson thing? Because at the very end of the Michael movie, it says Michael will return. So people were saying Michael will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Damn, I think they did a cliffhanger on Michael. That's cool.
They did a cliffhanger on Michael.
The best Michael
it's because
Jackson
they want to
ever.
do. I think they had to cut the movie short and they couldn't do the ending they wanted.
There's a lot. People forget that there was like a 10, 12 hour long TV aired movie of the Jackson 5 story.
Yeah.
Which I believe Jason Weaver was the best Michael Jackson there ever was.
Oh yeah.
Like him playing Kid Michael that means so much to a lot of people. To me,
I haven't seen that. I didn't know that there was already Michael Jackson bio stuff out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's like the actual documentaries and all this.
Listen, Angela Bassett played Mama Jackson. Great Joe Jackson. I can't remember his name, but he was also he's a character in a lot of different movies. But he was a character in some of my favorite classics that ended up playing Joe Jackson. So yeah, it's some good Michael stuff out there.
I just wonder.
Like the only good Michael story to me.
What is?
The Jackson family story, which is, or I don't know if
the origins.
The American, it's like American Dream something, the Jackson story, something like that.
Shout out Gary, Indiana.
It's so fucking long. Yeah, shout out to Gary. Dude. Shout out Freddie Gibbs.
Because I mean, that's a rags to riches story if you ever heard one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dad working at a plant, beating the shit out of his kids until they become talented.
Oh yeah.
It's a great arc.
And they're singing their heart out.
Yeah, because if not, they're going to get a Switch.
Yeah.
Not the one they got now. Not the Switches they got now.
Oh, dude, the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5. I mean, I would like to be in a group like that when I was a kid. I kind of wish my dad had a Switch or two and put me in a group. Yeah, probably would have at least got me to sing a little better. I probably could have the voice of an angel, you know, because I can still go up in here like this, you know. Like I feel like I use my Elmo voice for my songs a lot, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know all about vocal layers. I'm sure you do. So one thing I've learned throughout the years is if I go like up in here, like it always works. Every hook ever. It's like I have to throw in like, so if it's like, you know, I'll sing like I'll be fine. I can feel it all. Right? And then it's like, I'll be fine. I can feel it all. And it sounds so stupid by itself. I try always, because if people don't know what that is, it sounds like I'm doing that. And that's going to be the vocals. Yeah. You can never, I always, because I'll do like lives where I'm recording, and there will be, I'll do that for 5 minutes on end, just doing the highs. Yeah. And I feel like people go by, they're walking by, like, oh, this guy sucks.
Yeah. It's all about the texture.
Well, people don't know. I mean, that was one thing. Feel it. When I was listening to your music, that was one thing I feel like you really do a lot. I mean, you really had a lot of texture. I mean, and that's one thing I feel like I don't do so much other than like layers. Because I mean, I feel like your songs, everything is textured, and I don't know how much you have a touch on the instrumentals and all this.
I produce a lot.
You produce a lot.
I produce probably like 85% of my own music. Even if there's somebody else involved, like I'm rearranging what they sent me,
and that shows, because that's what I'm saying. Like you feel like all that texture comes through. Like it feels. I feel like with pop music and R&B especially, it just feels it's you need almost like a sensory overload nowadays. You need to hit them where you need to get them. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, it's just every second counts. You know, like I remember I heard Tyler the Creator say once, like he likes to put little moments in songs where it's like, you know, it'll be the same hook that you heard 5 times, but just he adds one thing in the background because that adds so much. It's like little things like that. You create moments throughout a song. And all of that adds up to where you can't even comprehend all of it when you listen to it at a certain point. It's all happening, you know? I mean, what's your songwriting process like then? Like, do you start from nothing?
It's a few different ways. So it can go down one or two paths. One, I experience something and I get like this caption in my head. The best way to put it is like a good one-liner. And then kind of how you were talking about Breaking Bad, like now I have to make the rest of the song make sense around that one-liner. Yeah. So if that's the path that I go down and I start with a line, I think about what emotion am I trying to express, and then what follows after that is like what pictures can I use to express that feeling, and then that kind of determines the words that I use, sometimes even the cadence, how loud I might be. And then you have the other path where I hear like a piece of music and then the caption comes. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't even know what I'm finna write about. But damn, that's a bar that I got in my head, you know?
Yeah. Caption. See, I try to think about it like a theme. Because that's one thing I think within the last few years or so, I've really tried to do more is think about songwriting thematically rather than like anything else. Like what is the general idea? Because I think that's how people interpret things for the most part. Yeah. And like you said, like emotions and images and that too, right? Yeah. Like it's all these things and people think it's about the words, but it's not really about the words. It's all the things underneath the words. That's what you remember. And then the words is just the stuff on top that materializes those ideas. Kinda. And I just feel like, you know, imagery especially, right? Like imagery is so powerful in songwriting because I think it's just like the power of metaphor and the power of how your brain thinks in pictures. I think that's most of what it is. Yeah. I think that's just accessing that. But I mean, like public speaking too. And one thing that blew my mind is I read in like some public speaking books, so many euphemisms and like phrases are visual, like two birds with one stone. Like it's always like physical things that you can see and you can picture. Like so many of those. Yeah. And it's because that's how we think, you know. And in songwriting, you can take advantage of that. And I think like I just feel like it's that same David Lynch thing where it's like if you write thematically and you write around ideas, songs become so much bigger than any one thing.
They become personal to the listener. I think that's really what I try to do is, like you said, create around a theme, and then let the other person fill in the pieces.
Because you don't know how they're going to interpret it. Yeah. And being vague, see, that's the thing. There is a certain grace to being vague. This is something that like, because some people are vague to no end, and it's actually unbearable. Like, I'll hear music where it's like they're saying nothing at all. Like, there's no, because they're trying so hard to say nothing. Like, they're trying so hard to do that, where they want to leave it so open to interpretation. And I feel like I used to do that more when I first started writing music, because it's like a certain...
You're trying to sharpen the knife.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get better at it.
And you're saying something, but it's saying just enough. It's like the amount of what you say. Because I feel like, at least for me as a listener, I want to engage with a song. Like, I don't want the song to tell me what it is. I don't want it to tell me exactly what the story is. And even if it does, it's like, what is this story? And like, what is you get to pick the moral of the story. Like, an example, I guess, would be like, what does $1 cost by Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
It's like, that's a story. It's totally a story, but you get to pick what that story means. But it's entirely a narrative. But it's like things like that, where it's what is even the purpose of telling this story, and what does this imply in the grand narrative of this album, and all these things. Like, there's so many moving parts that I think if you as the artist do that, and you allow those things to do that, then the listener gets to have fun with all of it afterwards.
It becomes a parable.
Yeah.
That's essentially what a song like that you just mentioned, essentially what that is.
Yeah,
you create
parable.
parables for people to
A parable,
apply.
what is the definition of a parable?
We could probably Google it for exact, but when I say parable, I think of like a story with a morality lesson.
Yeah.
And there is not always an exact intention of that lesson from the author, but it is meant to evoke a line of questioning in the listener.
You pretty much got it right. It says a parable is a short, simple story used to teach a moral or spiritual lesson by throwing a familiar earthly scenario alongside a deeper, often complex, heavenly truth.
Yeah, that's exactly what $1 cost is.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, the homeless man was Jesus. Like, what if he was Jesus for real?
And what if he was? Yeah. And I just feel like it's something that I just think it's like real always wins in the end. I think when people think that way and they apply that to art, I just think that's the type of thing that creates more creativity. Like, it ignites people and it makes them want to be creative. And that's the art that I like the most, because not everybody's doing that. I think it's harder to do that. It's way more difficult to do that than to just and my problem is I can't do the other thing. I don't know how to like write a simple thing and take it easy. I'm so bad at that.
You just try to write
Everything's got to be amazing, and everything's got to be my magnum opus or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, but not, that doesn't stop me from writing. Like, I'm still writing all the time, but it's like I don't know how to just do the simple pop song. I don't know how to like dumb it down and just make it. Everything's got to be fucking okay, but I can't just say it. I got to come up with a better way to.
I like to use a lot of, like you said earlier, idioms.
Yeah.
But I like to. Future does this really well. Is he'll take just like a common phrase or just something you use in everyday conversation and make a song around it. Like, I have a song called "You Shouldn't Have," and, you know, like in response to somebody giving you like a gift, you're like, "Oh, you shouldn't have."
Yeah.
You know, and in context of the song that I got called "You Shouldn't Have," I'm using it as irony to talk about like how somebody that I was romantically involved with like started treating me like shit. Like, oh, you just started blocking me? Oh, you shouldn't have. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing me a favor by getting me out of your life, but also you shouldn't have done that, because why? Why would you do something like that?
That's a good idea. Yeah. And just take a phrase and flip it, kind of. You shouldn't have, you shouldn't. And there's also like, you can, obviously, you could take that, and if you're doing a hook or anything, you could take that phrase and, oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, you sent me all those things you shouldn't have.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I just ran through a whole ounce of weed I shouldn't have.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways you can use one phrase, and I love to apply that to my music.
He does that a lot, doesn't he? I never really thought about it. I remember one of my friends told me about his song called That's the whole hook.
Yeah.
Fucking on this bitch like
Yeah. And I love Future can do no wrong to me.
No. You know, one fun Future fact that most people don't know is Slava Minab. That was not even supposed to be in the song.
Oh, on the Black Panther?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was freestyling, and he was just trying to get in the zone, you know? Slava no, and then everybody, I think it was Kendrick, he's like, no, that's it, you gotta keep it,
bro.
And he's like, no, please, no. And he's like, Kendrick's like, no, you don't understand, that's it.
That's the shit that
shows
sends you
the
viral.
Visionary Kendrick is, right? You can see
bro.
It really is,
because you think about, like,
it makes the whole song.
What's that song that Ye has with Schoolboy Q? Okay. Chipotle, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only part of his verse that I remember.
Yep.
And that's that part. That's the name of the song. That part.
Yep.
So it's moments like that just create something for people to come back to, or something for people to reference. It's like a shared joke.
Yeah. But again, it's like it's utilizing those things well and properly and being like masterful about it. I think that's the thing most people don't realize. Like, you can only do that once in a song.
Yeah.
You can't over and over try to make a moment and do that. You only have that one okay, and then you have to do the verse normal, and maybe you can do the okay one more time, but you can't overdo it. There's a grace to all these things.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. Anybody can just do something fun, but it's like, how do you know when to do it just right and when to hold back and when to play it cool? I mean, Kanye is probably one of the best at that.
Yeah.
The Bound 2 video is one of the best music videos of all time. And I think it's funny because it's like semi sarcastic. Like, the video's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But also it's not, because it's Kanye West. Like, it's 100% serious.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the James Franco and Seth Rogen version?
Yeah. I have seen that.
So it's funny because they did it the exact same way. They didn't even change a thing. Like, they just took it as seriously as Kanye did.
Man, you can do so much with art like that.
I mean, and Kanye, recently, I think Kanye, when you're talking about imagery and thinking and what his art looks like, he's he's so phenomenal.
Yeah.
And no matter how crazy he gets, no matter what, that is always going to be, it's the way that he produces and the things that he knows to curate. But it's also like, you just look at his stage show and the every choice he makes, and you can say whatever you want about his fashion, you can say whatever you want, but he has such a solid idea of what he wants people to see, and it's so distinctive.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about it to me, is how he manages to be so distinctive consistently over and over and over again. Like the whole Globe thing recently, performing at SoFi with the like, no one's done anything like that, and no one would do anything like that but him, and that's what makes him him.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like, to me, the core of hip hop. That's what it is. That's what that stuff should be. It should be you being you, as you as possible, and finding a way for people to resonate with that.
Yeah, his brand voice is really strong. I think that's exactly what you're saying. It's
it
like,
wins everything. He can do whatever he wants because the brand is like the strongest thing of all time.
It's like, you expect that from him. You expect him to push the boundary. You expect him to do something that's like, I don't care if you like it or not, but you don't hit all of your shots. But Ye's shots are very early most times.
When it comes to music and when it comes to what he puts out with art, it's just kind of undeniable in my opinion. Like, maybe you could say with like
anytime before Life of Pablo, for me, I would agree. Anything after that, I'm turning off.
You don't like it. So what's I didn't really like Vultures too much, but I just don't even know. I feel like there's a lot of things that go into that not being the same. And I didn't listen to, what was the one, I thought about killing you today, or I thought about that whole tape.
That tape was like, I'm bipolar, it's great, or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't really love that. I think it was okay, I didn't love it. Even his whole Christian album and all this, I didn't love it, but I still think it's like his, even when I don't love what he's doing, he's so himself, I have to kind of respect it. That's, he's so bold in his choices.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people not doing that.
It's the audacity. That's why I love Future.
Yes, exactly. You have to be bodacious.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be like, damn, okay.
Like, he really
especially
just
nowadays. I feel like nowadays, if you want to stick out in the climate of hip hop, in the world of this, you have to. What is your reason for being you? Why should I be interested in you rather than these 10 other people that could be you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think it is that sets you apart from other artists?
I'm so versatile, man. I feel like I can do anything. The one thing that's always gonna set me apart is like, I'm me. Like, any type of genre that I produce, I'm always gonna do it in a way that I love, that I feel like resonates. And I approach it from so many different mediums, like my videos, the production, the actual writing. Like I teeter between music that's fun like Future's and music that's yearning like Jodeci's. You know what I'm saying? Like my catalog can be so many different things. There's so much music I haven't even put out yet that people are gonna hear. They're gonna be like, I didn't even know you could do shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of always creating what's true for me, that I always think about when it comes to like what's gonna set me apart from this artist. Or I'll study the greats, man. Not everybody studies the greats and applies it. So I'm thinking about production arrangements, the vocal layering that I do. I just found out allegedly that Brandy does 16 stacks per note, which is why her shit sounds that way. And me, I'm thinking I'm doing the most by just doing 4 or 5 stacks. But I'm like, nah.
Per note?
Yeah, per note. I'm doing like 4,
I was talking about
5,
hooks earlier.
6,
Like, I'll add
and-
layers on hooks. But like per note is crazy.
per note of that hook. You know what I'm saying? So like every harmony,
But I mean, you're talking about verses too, right?
Depending on, like, I might embellish a word or a phrase or something like
So this
that.
isn't as Loco Coconuts as I thought.
Brandy, it is. Brandy's doing that through the whole song.
I think Travis Scott does that too. I think he does crazy layers on his vocals. Like he's so ridiculous with it. I remember seeing that once, and it was just like it was one of his files or something, and it was just so stacked. I'm talking like 20 or 30.
Oh yeah, that's light work.
But I mean, I get it,
work.
because the thing is, if you've never been, I mean, that's why I always recommend try recording your own music. Like, it doesn't matter if you prefer going to a studio, just have a home studio just to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, what you learn so much doing that. And that's where I've learned a lot about that, about what I can do with my voice and stacking my voice. And I think I'm good at harmonizing, but it's like you have to experiment to find it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you have to, because you're harmonizing with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to figure out, I mean, unless you're a trained singer, you have to figure out, okay, so what works here? And sometimes it's like you try crazy off the wall things, and that's exactly what works best.
Yeah.
Like there's a song I did recently where, so like the hook goes, and I don't really want to call you because I know that it wouldn't feel right. So just calm, soft like that, like that delivery. But I realized I was recording it that if I do, and I don't really want to call you because I know that it wouldn't feel right, and then put that in the back and layer it and kind of make them both mains. So it's not like the other one's supportive, but they're both kind of doing equal work.
Yeah.
That made the hook. Like the first one I thought was the hook. I thought that was what it was. And then when I added the other one as a layer, I realized it was an accident too, because I just had it too loud.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh no, this is like balancing it now.
Separates it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's shit like that where nobody could even kind of cheat you that. And most people wouldn't even, like what I'm doing with the second one, it's more almost like a rock voice. It's not even what you would use in a hip hop song.
Yeah.
But I think you have to take chances and do. That's where you find so much cool stuff with your voice. I mean, using your voice as an instrument, and like you said about having songs where people are like, "Oh, this doesn't even sound like you." It's doing stuff like that. That's how you get there. It's just what, and I think it's also following the song or following the whatever that, like the creative.
You have to serve the song sometimes,
because it's telling you where to go. It's kind of telling you where to go. It
literally does.
I a lot of time I'll hear the harmony in my head and I'll kind of think I'm hearing it, but I'm not hearing it, and then I have to record it so it exists. You know what I mean?
That happens to me too.
It's there. Like I know it's there.
Yeah.
And I'll fool myself into actually hearing it almost.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, that's why there's these 10 layers coming, these 20, because it's all these things do so much.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize until that happens. Like you'll have the first demo where it's kind of, it sounds all right. And then you add a bunch of layers and you have demo number 2 and it fucking blows demo number 1 out the water.
Oh, yeah.
And so now, it's just like I'm teaching you a lesson. Okay, I guess I have to layer every hook ever because that's how it makes it feel big. I mean, there's all these things you can do with music. I mean, I'll say too, like with the texture thing, it's the thoughtfulness of where you put the layers, because that's one thing I noticed is like you'll do a verse, but you'll have a line that you're accentuating in the hook, and that you have 2 layers way off to the sides. It's stuff like that makes a verse stick out even, and makes 2 lines stick out, and you can't do it on everything. You have to pick and choose which lines to make big and accentuate, like
I pull from so many different eras of music, and That's where that comes from. So
A little R&B, yeah.
a lot of R&B. Like that's damn near all I listen to on a daily basis.
I love R&B,
like
man.
90s R&B. I'm listening to Jodeci, Genuine, Silk, like consistently when it comes to placing those harmonies. And then when you talk about texture, like I'm damn near pulling texture ideas from Bootsy Collins, you know, and how he used to sing. Like he got a song called Munchies for Your Love that's like my favorite song ever. It's on my playlist of you only got 20 songs to live off of for the rest of your life on this island. That song is on there. Yearning for Your Love by the Gap Band is on there. So these people, they're like pulling that like funk voice out.
Yeah.
You know, Kendrick does it a lot in his music. It's something that I've adopted when it comes to adding these layers because I'm impatient when it comes to creating music too. I don't always want to be like, yo, hey, I need this falsetto harmony on this song real quick. I'm like, I can do falsetto. Let me try to pull this out real quick. So I'm pulling from a lot of different places, including battle rap. Like to go back to what we were talking about earlier when you asked like how I might structure a song. If I get that caption in my head, I've got like 6 bars using that one line like instantly. Just like how many ways can I flip this, and then how many adjacent topics does this one idea spark off? So, you know, in battle rap, a thing that's common is scheming, which is like, you know, if we talking about basketball, you're going to run through maybe like 5 teams, 5 popular player names, and then you're going to bring it all together with a punchline. That's how I approach all my songwriting to keep it linear. So to keep the phrase that I'm using in the same world, or even the topic that I'm talking about in the same world. If I bring up something about a book, I think about something you read. I also think about somebody getting booked down at the station. You know what I'm saying? So there's like so many different ways you can use a word.
Yeah. You familiar with Harry Mack at all?
The name sounds familiar.
So he's a popular freestyle rapper, and he's gotten really a lot more popular over the last few years. But I want to say like 10 years ago is when he really got noticed, because he did a couple things on the radio where he would freestyle with, like, it was Joey Badass, and then it was Kendrick Lamar. And they would just throw him words, and I mean, you can only imagine how nerve-wracking it would be. I mean, you're freestyling with like people you were your idols essentially, and then these people are, I mean, Joey Badass, fucking known as a great freestyler. So, and back then he was great, but he was not as good as he is now. Now he's just fucking amazing, and he's done like 10-hour freestyle stuff like this. He's like trained in drumming. That's what he did before he ever rapped. So like he can freestyle in like triplets. It's like just crazy technical shit that I haven't seen anybody do. But I mean, truly what makes him so good is, one, the amount of stuff he's able to juggle in his head. Because I've seen him do things where it's like somebody will give him a whole narrative, like a whole story, and he'll do a 6-minute freestyle beat by beat telling the story they told him to tell in the song. Like he can keep track of things in a way I've never seen anybody do, and I'm sure it's all muscle memory.
He autistic.
It is some of that autism, yeah.
He got a little tism.
It's funny because like he's so known for freestyle rapping, I kind of feel bad for him. It's hard for him to drop real songs because he's just so, it's probably that it's a different muscle. Like it's a whole different thing what he's doing. And the other thing is I've seen him explain how he freestyle, like the base of the method. And it's kind of like what you just described, where it's like you pick, if you wanted to practice how to do it, because a lot of what he's doing is, he did Omegle bar things for a while, where it's like he would go on Omegle, and it's for about 3 words he would do. He would tell them not to do food, not to do like certain things, because people would always do the same things. So hopefully you give them tough words. Like, I don't know, just give me any word at all, just one word.
Acquiescence. So
that's a good word. Acquiescence. Now you pick a bunch of words that you could just spider web off of that word, just creative thinking now. Acquiescence, gain, more, presence, acquire, aqua essence. Like you just do this and you try to do that. But the hard part now is, imagine doing that in the background of your mind while you freestyle, because that's what he's doing. That's kind of the whole method. And if you can do it right, it'll eventually all come together. And if you do that over and over, then you'll start to be able to fucking keep 10, 20 words in your head, and then you can do crazy shit. Because I feel like freestyling, there is a scheme to it. But even that, though, he's saying how he does it. every now and then I'll see somebody freestyle and I can't even wrap my mind around how they're doing, like, because it's not what I just described. Like, they are just fucking free flowing and somehow it's all making sense.
Yeah.
Because some days in my mind, I feel like I can see it clearer than other days. I'll be like, oh, I could see how all these words would connect. But other days it's just like, how?
Oh, yeah.
Just to freestyle like that. And battle rap too. I mean, battle rap, there's obviously so much of it that's written, but a lot of it isn't. And a lot of it is following the flow of the moment and the energy of a room. And that's where I can't even, battle rap scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah, man. That's an elite sport.
I would say it's even different than freestyling.
Sport.
Like it's like a step above that.
It is. It's performative art. It's almost like it's rap mixed with stage play.
Yeah.
Mixed with comedy.
Yeah.
So you got to be on point.
You got to be so on point because this person's coming for your everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll talk to comedians a lot on here, and they do roast battle. And I try to explain to them, like, you don't understand. The difference between roast battle and rap battle is you guys are friends. Like, you guys are nice to each other, and you kind of shake hands, and everything's good. Rap battles, it's like, no, we're not friends right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, like I probably know your wife, I know your baby moms, but they are not off limits. You know, that's what battle rap is.
Nothing is off limits, yeah. And it's like with comedy, with roast battles, they can say, oh, you know, don't mention this, or like, you know, it's all fun and games. Like, everybody's in on the joke, you know, I'm calling you fat, but we are all having fun. Whereas, like, if we're doing a roast battle and I call you, like, you know, yo, I'm spitting, I'm about to lay something down. Like, when this guy's got donuts, he weighs 1,500 pounds. And, you know, obviously, and this dude's like looking like this.
Yeah.
So now everybody's pointing at him and laughing. Ooh. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same. That energy is not the same. Because at the comedy, the roast battle, everybody's having fun. At the rap battle, the guy that's fat, he's just looking around like this. He's pissed. He don't like that you called him fat at all.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I always, when I watch those, I'm always thinking, like, how do you react when someone gets you with the good one? You kind of just have to, like, I think I would smile and laugh along, and I don't think that's the right reaction. I think you kind of have to, like, mean mug them and, like you have to look like what they're saying is wrong, you know?
Yeah.
You can't laugh along. Yeah. You have to kind of, like...
You'll see a lot of battle rappers now, like, dapping somebody. When they know that somebody got over, they'll be like, hey...
I don't know about that.
It depends on the relationship, too.
Yeah, if they're your buddy...
depends on the relationship.
I feel like if I dap somebody up after they fucking dissed me, I look like I'm endorsing their diss.
That's a valid claim.
Come on. You can't...
It's a valid claim.
What's going on? And also, I feel like rap's supposed to be... Like, that's what I love about roast battles, or rap battles, I mean. It's like the essence of rap. It's competitive.
Yeah.
Like, rap should be competitive. Even if we're all friends, and even if in the end we all want each other to win, if I should want to be the best. And I want to be better than you, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And this is my chance to prove it. And so, like, never. No, I feel like my rap brain would just... They would go for the dap, and I would... I'd have to come up with something.
Touch me.
Karate
Get
chop.
your hands off me.
I'd have to, you know, do one of those.
Fake out.
Which actually would probably be a good move in a rap battle.
Ooh.
Ooh. You ever see Super Hot Fire?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's the best.
A classic, man.
I mean, that is...
Super Hot Fire was my teenage years.
But I'm not a rapper. It's just, it's funny because there are things like that. Like, there are, that exists. Like, that's one thing I've noticed just about, like, a local music scene anywhere you go. You're going to go to some open mic, and there's going to be a guy with, like, 10 friends, and he's going to be kind of mediocre, and all his friends are going to go, oh, my God! Yeah. You just have to accept that's where you're at right now.
Yeah, that's part of the plan, man. It's like, a winning strategy.
It's good advertising, I mean, for the guy. Somebody get a camera in this room.
Bandwagon effect. That's great.
It makes me... I just need an entourage. Like, to get big, I just need 10 of my buddies. Follow me around.
To crowd the stage.
Hype me up.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the sort... That's how success works.
It literally is. Like in every arena,
guys.
get your people to hype you up, that everybody else is going to be like, damn, this guy must be good. Look at these people.
That's literally it. I feel like everybody's like, no, it's deeper than that. It's not. It's not any deeper than that. It is who you know. And by that, I mean, just be a cool guy and get enough of your friends to come out. And eventually everybody's convinced. Yeah. Eventually everybody's like, you know what? He is a cool guy.
Yeah.
I see. My problem is always like I have been popular amongst like creative people. I've never figured out how to like bring a general audience out. That's been my like problem.
You gotta be a little stupid.
Yeah, and maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not dumb enough.
To do that.
I like what you just said because it kind of gratifies me. It makes me feel right. But I'm
look at Donald Trump.
You don't want to be me.
That nigga stupid, boy. And he got hella people following him. So you gotta cater to people's ignorance.
Yeah. Well, and I think like
know?
that's like why the best artists, like the ones who are the most successful, it's interesting because like a Kendrick, where it's like I think he rides the line of commercial and artist perfect. Like he manages to be an artist, but also he's commercially viable, and what he's doing is near impossible. Like it's so hard to do that because people just don't. If you're being commercial, it's kind of the opposite of being artistic. And how do you figure out? It's like the thing we were talking about filmmaking earlier. Like filmmaking's got so far away from that. And how do we get back to at least some middle ground? Because it just doesn't feel like the art is even there for a lot of it. I think streaming and it's just streaming changed where the money flows.
Absolutely.
That's really what most it is. But you know, it's music. You start making money. Oh, well, maybe I should make the same song that everybody likes. Maybe I should keep making that kind of music. Or you be that creative person that you've always been, and you make something completely different, and they either like it or they don't like it, but at least you're being creative.
Yeah.
But you know, people, you see dollar signs.
Kendrick got a Pulitzer, man. Like the things that he's done have been incredible. So he's one of my best, like, favorite rappers. He's on my Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah, I love Kendrick. He's my favorite. He's my absolute favorite. But I think it's just because he does everything I think a rapper is supposed to do. He does, he's
that's
like the
great way to put it.
Golden model of what a rapper is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's when I say blending old school and new school, commercial and art, like in this modern era, it's so hard to be old school hip hop. It's so hard to have that essence and feel like classic West Coast old school hip hop. It's not there for the most part. And I think what happened was hip hop has spiderwebbed into a million subgenres, and really it's kind of like rock music where we just don't call it all the classic rock, you know, like metal. We don't have all these different terms. It's all just hip hop. And so that's what's confusing. And so like somebody like Kendrick, I feel like somehow manages to just, despite all of that, be a rapper at its core, but just as new school as anybody else. Like especially with his latest album, he just manages to do it over and over. I think J. Cole is good at that, but he cannot do that at the level that Kendrick can do that. Like Kendrick is just in touch with wherever the culture's at. Yeah. And that's also something that's like so hip hop to me, and so like who's on top of the game. It's whoever is in touch with the culture. Like that's why Eminem's just not Eminem anymore. Eminem in the early 2000s was rap. He was rap. Like that was what rap was. Everybody knew Eminem. He was so in touch with where rap was going. And then like Slim Shady and all this, like it was just fucking, that was what rap needed. And then it just goes, he just stopped being that at a certain point, and he's still technically fucking incredible. He's one of the best of all time. Yeah. But when you're talking about who's like on the cultural, like the pulse, Eminem's nowhere near Kendrick anymore, and it's just because Kendrick just knows which buttons to push at all times. Yeah, it blew my mind with the whole Drake thing, just because I thought Kendrick was already okay. He's at the height that he's gonna achieve. How's he gonna top that? I think that every time he drops an album, like he can't.
Like how you gonna beat this?
And this is all what I'm talking about. Like, I just feel like he's the perfect example where it never goes the wrong way. There was never a misstep. None of it. He's just always managed to. And also, one thing that's really respectable about him, he doesn't do a bunch of interviews. He doesn't go in the spotlight. Yeah. He manages to not do any of that. And I think most artists don't even have that privilege anymore. Yeah. But
he's one of the few that he's able to let his art speak. Yeah. And everybody else talks about it.
And it's so much more powerful that way. Yeah. I wouldn't want him to explain his songs.
I don't want him to explain them either.
I would hate that. I don't even think he would. I think if you asked him, he would come up with some bullshit ass answer to talk his way out of it.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell you up front.
No way.
if you're really listening, he's laying it all out for you.
Exactly.
He really is.
What made you want to release a song every Friday for the whole year? What made you think that was a good idea?
And there's a few different things go into it. A few inspirations and then a desired outcome, I would say, is the best way I could lay it out for you. And the inspirations were watching LaRussell's work ethic. And Russ has a few viral videos where he's talking about
Russ is basically a guru for all that stuff.
For like independent, how to build traction on your own. And there are so many different models of how you're supposed to release your music and put your music out and promote the same song for like 6 months at a time.
Well, I think Russ is really good at like kind of being pessimistic about all that.
Yeah.
In the right ways.
Yeah.
Because it's like they'll tell you that. But nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody's paying attention to your music. No one knows you exist.
Yeah.
It's all marketing. Mm-hmm. Like, you should be putting out as much music as you can and then promoting that music as much as you can.
Yeah.
And just getting as much shit as you can pumped out there because you don't know what the entry point is going to be and you don't know what it's going to be. But there's no... I mean, like, I think about it with music videos. Like, you're going to spend how much money on a music video and all this time and all this effort. And for what?
And post it once.
Yeah. And then how many people are going to see it? Even if you clip stuff out of that video, like it's the clips that people are going to see, not the video. And that's the world we're in. And like somebody like Russ will come in and tell you like, no, all that industry stuff is bullshit. The industry's falling apart. I've worked with the industry. It's bad.
Yeah.
You just need to, I did it myself. This is how I did it.
Yeah.
Do what I did, follow my footsteps. And he also says, I know you're not going to listen to me because no one listens.
Yeah.
Because he'll put all that advice out, and it's like the tiny 0.1% of artists that actually follow the advice.
Yeah.
That's the problem with giving advice, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're the people, your mentors.
No, you said I would not call Russ a mentor. But so just watching how they approach releasing music and understanding that it's a volume game that we live in now. And I've tried to play the whole mysterious game. Like, that shit ended in like 2012. The ability to like really be mysterious and be an artist.
I think what happened was like you can do it if you already have an established fan base.
Exactly.
But it's just, around 2012, 2016, somewhere in that window, it all changed.
It was over with. So it's about saturating the market. So whether you do that with one song or whether you do that with a bunch of songs. The reason I chose to go with releasing a song a week was because most of these songs that I'm releasing so far and will be releasing throughout the year, like, have been done for so long. And like last
in the vault,
year,
just sitting in a vault somewhere type of thing.
I had plans to put them out. It was just thinking that they had to be a certain way, had to be super produced, and it got to a point where I gave up on it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna switch over to me doing full R&B and singing, and I'm not gonna put out any more rap music. And then I went to Atlanta for working this commercial shoot that I was doing. I work in film industry too, and I was riding around listening to all of the music that like I had ever done, like my old stuff from high school to the stuff that was just unreleased, and I'm like, yo, if I don't put this out, I'm gonna feel like shit. So what if I put out just a song a week? And this is like December. This is like the first week of December. And so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna start putting out a song a week next month. And I already had most of the music mixed and mastered.
How many songs did you already have ready?
I have about 60 songs. At the beginning of the year, I had like 60 songs ready.
So you have the whole year.
Yeah. Some of the stuff I've like gone back and touched up, reproduced, maybe like did different vocal takes on it. And there are a few songs that'll be coming out towards the end of the year that like don't have verses yet, but they have like the hook.
So you got it all mapped out?
It's all mapped out. It's in my Google Calendar about what song is gonna come out what Friday for the entire year. So, and I did that in December.
That's a lot. That's impressive. And I think like it does something, it communicates something that's like is irreplaceable. Like if people are looking at that, there's just nothing There's nothing else to gain from it except like, oh, the productivity. Like you just see how productive this person is. Yeah. And I think like that's just, I feel like that stuff communicates, it speaks louder than words. It does so much, you know? And I think like it's so powerful nowadays more than ever. Cause again, it's like entry points and what people are going to see. You just don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you really don't know. And I think like the way that these algorithm works, like I really feel like Spotify and all this, I think it rewards you for releasing music more often.
It does. Opposed to what people will tell you, like upload 6 weeks in advance and then like pitch it to all of the playlist curators. That's not always gonna hit, but what is gonna hit is that algorithm recognizing that you're putting something into the system
just
every
like
week.
Every algorithm. Every algorithm does this. Like I remember when I started releasing music weekly, and I'm trying to get back in the habit of it. And I remember when I did it, it was like the algorithm was sharing my music with more people, just like this, how Spotify will put it on new releases and all these playlists. Yeah. And I didn't do anything different. Maybe I'm having like a feature or two, but that's it. Yeah. And so it's stuff like that where I feel like it's just like all these other algorithms, no matter what people tell you. Yeah. And I think, people are gonna have all sorts of ideas. And like, I think honestly, the way to do it now would probably be, until you're like got this giant big fan base and you know they're going to listen to your whole album, just because everybody got small attention spans and you don't know what's going to get them. Single. And if you want, build a tape out of the singles.
Album. That's literally what I'm doing this year.
Yeah.
Like that's the way to do it.
And like the only thing is, but it's, because the thing is you got to avoid making it sound like a mixtape and making it sound like everything's thrown together. But honestly, this is how most albums are made anyway. You just have a good 30, 40 songs and then you pick the best ones, like the best 10. Yeah. And that becomes the album. Yeah. So yeah, you're doing that this year? Is that?
Yeah, so I did that with my project Metal Gear Francis, which was in 2024.
Great name.
So I did that. At that point, I was like, I got 10 songs. I'm going to release them all as singles throughout 10 weeks. And at the end of the 10 weeks, going to be like, haha, you just experienced my album single by single. I was like, what if I do that for 5 albums for an entire year?
Oh, wow.
That's what.
So they're all going on separate albums.
Yeah, I've already released Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 3 is what's coming out.
Nice.
This for the next 6 weeks.
And even that, like you have it, it's all mapped out in a sequential way. Did you think about all of it as you were pacing it out throughout the year?
So I think about my music from the perspective of the kind of fan that I am, which is like, if you're giving me a bunch of music, what is the through line what story are you trying to tell? So I thought about what music I put out in what order, what goes together, what's grouped together, and naturally it kind of grouped together by the time period that I created it, because I was just like in the same frequency during that time.
That's interesting. So even like as it comes out throughout the year, it's almost like different little time
different
periods.
Versions of me. So like I Like Space Volume 1 that I put out from January to like early March. Most of those songs feature my friend Kenny Barreau. So that was literally like, we made those 8 songs over the span of maybe a week, a total of 4 studio sessions. Yeah. And so it made sense to put all of those albums in the same release sequence and put them all on one. And then I have I Like Space Volume 2, which is more so my own experimental space and inviting in other collaborators like Rico Shy, like Heavy Crowns. And just that one I kind of feel is more me being less vague. I'm progressively getting less vague throughout this year. So I'll give y'all, I'm not going to give spoilers, but that first album was just braggadocious. Like, yeah, I'm cool, I can rap. I'm not really talking about shit for real. I'm just doing really cool melodies and trying new arrangements. I Like Space Volume 2 is, all right, now I'm talking a little bit more about like what my personal life is like. Still on a very surface level. I like to smoke weed. I like to buy clothes. This project I'm putting out now is I Like Space Volume 3, and I went totally 90s R&B, like singing over Dilla-esque beats. I like to say it's like Jay Dilla mixed with Anderson .Paak. That's what this era of me sounds like. And this is me having a happy moment in my music. And I wrote these songs in 2020. Like, these are the songs I'm putting out now are from 2020. They may have been reproduced. I may have re-recorded some vocals, but the story behind them came from a point in my life where I was so depressed that I realized all the music that I've had made up until that point in 2020 was depressing music. And I said, I need a light point in my career. I need something that speaks to the positive experiences I've had. And even my grandmother around that time had asked me about a certain kind of song. It was like a happy song. And then she was like, oh, you don't have any of that in your catalog though, do you? And I was like, damn, I don't. Like, all I damn near talk about is the mental weight that I live with and how that shows up. And I'm trying to be super philosophical in my songs. And
you don't have any happy songs, huh?
I didn't have no happy songs. So this next 6 to 7 weeks is going to be like, what was it like for me to experience a moment of happiness amongst chaos? Where I'm talking about basically some of my favorite times that I've had with some of my closest friends around that time. And just what love means to me in that time period. And then, you get past that. The album after that is about how I was a toxic partner, So you got the happiness, but that ended somewhere. Like, I'm not still with that person that I'm talking about the happiness with. So the project after that is called Chemical X. Shout out to Powerpuff Girls, but it's EX instead of the X, obviously. But in that project, I think if you listen to it critically, you can listen to it from 2 different perspectives. Either the person I'm talking about is the toxic one, or what I'm talking about exposes me as the toxic one. So it's really dependent on where your mind is when that project fulfills itself. That will kind of give you the perspective on what I'm saying. And then after that, how did I get toxic? Well, I need to kind of talk about my past and what depression actually meant to me and how it showed up in my life, and not just philosophize on it, but actually go into, like, I got this song called Home, where I'm talking about what this concept of home means to me throughout different periods of my life. So the first verse is like, all right, home in the context of America. What is home for a person of color in America? And I'm going through that in the first verse. Second verse, I'm an adult now that has a different perspective on relationships. What does home look like for me trying to create a family in a home, and what distance am I creating within my own home? Third verse has to explain that. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't feel like I had these certain privileges, or I felt like I had to work a certain kind of way to be recognized and to be seen. So I'm getting more specific as the year goes on, essentially, which is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And all that's leading up to an album I'm putting out next year, which is, I'm 100% sure once people hear this album, they never going to want to hear me rap again. They're going to be like, you want to rap after you just made this?
And guys, he's like Andre 3000. He's going to switch over to the flute or the harmonica.
Yeah.
that's the big twist.
I'm going to just start playing
come out,
the kazoo.
Be like a trombone. Like, what's
he doing?
You're like, what, man? This is you now?
Like, man, this is hot, though.
Never rap again. This is amazing. Well, all right, man. Thanks for being here. I mean, we could go for longer, but you're a busy man with a busy life doing busy things.
15. Yeah,
has it? Yeah, pretty much.
Minutes, so.
Time flies when you're having fun, boys and girls. At the very end of the show, the show's obviously for 3 to 5 year olds. All right, it's for the children. Yeah. So the kiddies that are about to get off the school bus. And not these kind of kiddies, all right? The kiddies on the school buses, they're going to take off their earphones. They're going to enter the real world.
Yeah.
They're going to touch grass. And when they do that, they're going to need some wisdom. So you're going to provide that wisdom. I don't know what it is. It's a nugget of knowledge inside of your brain. And the second thing you got to do to close this bad boy off, got to give them the social medias. Comes out about a month from now. So the places they can find you, what they type in to see your face, where they hear these new songs on Galaxy Fridays. How do they find all that? You got to tell them.
Man, okay, so... Damn, I always have a hard time choosing what wisdom I would like to impart. But if there's any wisdom that I have right now for anybody, you just gotta wipe until you don't see no more brown. That's the best advice I got for you. And that applies to so many different things. Just clean up after yourself. And then... you got social media. At Galaxy Francis. That's Francis with an I. On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, galaxyfrancis.com. I like space.co for my merch. Did just drop a new collection. And hashtag Francis Fridays. You can listen to my music on all streaming platforms. It's just Galaxy Francis. No interesting spellings in that, no 3s or
No underscores?
at signs, no underscores,
Dashes.
nothing like that. No dashes, no exclamation marks as eyes. It's just
No emojis.
just straight up, you know.
All right. I got some advice for you, by the way.
Yeah.
Some advice for your advice.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, you know, based on the way you write songs and what you've been saying, you could take that, wipe until you don't see brown, turn that into a hook, come up with a couple secondary meanings.
Yeah.
You know?
Wipe until you don't see brown.
Yeah.
We'll make it emo too.
Yeah. Christ, this is a lonely town. There you go. We're going
Start
somewhere.
my day with my bidet.
Let's go. That's songwriting. All right. And
101.
folks, yeah, that has been all here today on Ruse Radio.
My car trying to get to 60 miles an hour.
Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character, this calm and collect. If